Truth or Fake gives us, Vedek held by the big board. We're picking up again with Pope Leo, who's had basically that visit to Algeria, which is a papal first, and more African countries on the agenda. But he's also in the news after Donald Trump launched an extraordinary attack on the Pope. His words said on Sunday, the words of the US president. But he also went as far as to share an AI-generated image. This is Trump depicting himself, Donald Trump, as Jesus Christ. Vedek, talk us through it.
That's right, Mark. Well, there's nothing to debunk today on Truth or Fake because this is in fact true. The US president went on a late-night rant on his platform Truth Social late on Sunday as he returned from Florida to Washington. And in a lengthy post around 3 a.m, he blasted Pope Leo before sharing an AI-generated image depicting himself as Jesus Christ. Now, this image has since been deleted from the platform in the last few hours. But let's go through first what Donald Trump said about the Pope. Now, he started by saying Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He says he likes his brother Louis much better because he is all MAGA. He said, I don't want a Pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. He also said, I don't want a Pope who criticizes me as the president of the United States. Now, he also went on to say that the pontiff should be thankful because it was a surprise, allegedly, to Donald Trump that he was elected, that he was voted in to be the Pope, and that he was only put there by the church because he was an American. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Now, he ended this post by saying Pope Leo should get his act together because it's hurting the Catholic Church. So quite scathing words there from Donald Trump. And some 40 minutes later, after that lengthy post, he shared this AI-generated image depicting himself as Jesus Christ healing the sick. We can see Trump bathed in light, wearing a white robe as he heals an ill man with his hands. There's the US flag in the background as bald eagles fly as well in the skies. And it does evoke a certain sense of religious Christian imagery. Now, this photo triggered massive and swift and sharp backlash from Christian and Catholic conservatives. And news just in, this has just happened in the last couple of hours in a hastily arranged press conference outside the White House today. Trump said he thought that this AI image was of him as a doctor making people better. He blamed fake news for people comparing it to Jesus Christ. And he said that he refuses to apologize, Mark, to Pope Leo for that scathing attack on Truth Social.
Pope Leo, of course, leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. Even the likes of Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy, have spoken out to condemn what Donald Trump has said. What has Pope Leo said, Vedek?
Well, speaking to reporters on his flight to Algeria when he was asked directly about this online attack by Donald Trump, he actually responded with, it's ironic, the name of the site itself, Say No More. So he is referring there to Trump's platform, Truth Social. But he also said that he's not afraid of the Trump administration. So I think it's best we take a listen to exactly what he said now.
I have no fear of neither the Trump administration nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I will continue to speak out loudly against war, looking to promote peace.
Now, the pontiff is also one of the most powerful critics of the US war in Iran. In recent days, without naming Donald Trump, he suggested that a delusion of omnipotence was driving the conflict in the Middle East and US foreign policy. Now, he also said directly about Donald Trump's threat to Iran, where he threatened to wipe out an entire civilization. He also called that truly unacceptable. So he definitely hasn't minced his words in terms of speaking about the war in Iran.
Delusion of omnipotence. It seems to be summed up by that AI image of Trump depicting himself as Jesus Christ, which I think more than Catholics, but many people would regard that as blasphemous. You said that Trump deleted that post due to the backlash from his own Christian supporters. Tell us more about that.
That's right. Just a few hours ago, he deleted the AI-generated photo from his platform, but not before he faced the wrath of some of his most loyal and devoted Christian supporters who have normally stood behind him. For example, Fox News' Riley Gaines, who was recently a guest at the White House. She said she couldn't understand why he would post this, and God shall not be mocked. Similarly, David Brody, evangelical journalist from Christian Broadcasting Network, he said, you're not God. This goes too far. It crosses the line. I have another reaction here from Megan Basham, another prominent Christian commentator, she said it's not clear if Trump thought that this was funny or if he's under a substance, but she called this outrageous blasphemy. And this seems to be a hard line here for many of Trump's usually devoted Christian support base who condemn this, and they have previously stood by him. It does seem that he has deleted it, maybe in terms of that backlash. We haven't normally seen him delete posts like this.
You have exposed it, Vedika, and thank you very much for that. Vedika Bahel there with Truth or